Claudia Beamish.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. And I thank the Cabinet Secretary for prior sight of the statement. It is indeed to be welcomed that the Scottish Government has met its targets for the second year in succession. I also welcome the focus on blue carbon. However, it is very concerning that transport is now the heaviest emitter with growing emissions. Every year the Scottish Government reports the emissions inventory. We have seen transport emissions barely change, and likewise for agriculture. And we have called for more action through the climate change plan. But it doesn't appear that there are new actions in spite of the Switched on Scotland Phase 2. How is the Scottish Government addressing modal shift? And in terms of climate justice, how can the Cabinet Secretary justify air departure tax? And why is the Scottish Government restricting eligibility to bus passes? Finally, does the Cabinet Secretary agree that if a transition training fund is to be effective, that significantly more funding is required?
Rosanna Cunningham.
Slight consternation there about our apparent restriction of bus passes. I'm being told that we're actually extending them rather than restricting them, so perhaps there's a bit of a misunderstanding developing there. In terms of modal shift, the draft plan does include a number of measures to influence the decisions of people and businesses, such as low emission zones, workplace parking levies, active travel funding and consolidation centres. And these build upon measures currently underway to reduce demand and encourage modal shift to active travel and public transport and in freight from road to rail. And I think there will probably be a fairly vigorous discussion around the low emission zone commitment made by the Scottish Government to have one in place by 2018. I know a number of local authorities have now flagged up their desire to be involved in that, and I do think that that will, bringing low emission zone forward, will begin to focus minds in respect of the advantages of changing modes of travel. As I indicated in an earlier answer, we are investing over £1 billion per year in public and sustainable transport and active travel modes, and we will continue to invest record levels in active travel for the lifetime of this Parliament. With respect to aviation, at the risk of repeating myself, we did get advice from the Climate Change Committee. They advised that the intention to do what we're doing in respect of air transport tax, air transport duty, is departure tax. Sorry, it's changed its name. I still tend to think of it as in its earlier incarnation. Was doable. It would require extra effort. If you look inside the overall figures for transport, you'll see some transport contributions down compared to others, so it isn't just a very straightforward across the board figure. We have taken the advice of the Climate Change Committee. We are putting effort in across the board, and it is that overall target which is the one which we work towards and which we have met.